to the Nassau County Board of Commissioners meeting for 9 a.m. December 20th, 2023. I ask that you please silence your cell phones and stand with me for the invocation and the pledge. Dear most gracious and heavenly Father, we come to you today and thank you for the many blessings you bestow upon us on a daily basis. As the Prince of Peace, we humbly ask for your guidance over our meeting and that you show us unity and productivity for the residents we serve. We ask that you direct our thoughts, words, actions, and decisions through your divine wisdom. Purify our thoughts so that each of us here will enter this meeting desiring the good of others and the pleasure of your precious name. Thank you for America's military members, all of our nation's first responders, and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and duty to our great country. I ask that you bless their families, their loved ones, and the American values we fight to defend on a daily basis. It's in Jesus' precious name we ask these things. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner McCullough?
Here.
Commissioner Gray?
Here.
Commissioner Hubman?
Here.
Commissioner Martin?
Here.
Chair Farmer?
Here. That moves us to public comment for non-agenda items. Comments can only be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Time limit is 3 minutes, and I have a couple of speaker cards here filled out. We will start with Nolan McKelvey. Welcome.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, dear Nassau County Board of County Commissioners, my name is Nolan McKelvey, and I am a senior at Hilliard Middle Senior High School. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your service to Nassau County. In agriculture education and FFA, we have learned the goals of parliamentary procedure are to protect the rights of the minority, maintain the rule of the majority, and to promote the most efficient proceedings. When we practiced a parliamentary procedure leadership development event, our goals is to encourage students to learn to effectively participate in a business meeting and to assist in the development of their leadership, research, problem-solving skills, and critical thinking skills. I hope to one day possibly be in your seat. Once again, thank you for your service, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. McKelvey. We appreciate it.
I think he deserves it.
Next up, we have Skylar Loveland. Welcome.
Dear Nassau County Board of County Commissioners, my name is Skylar Loveland, and I'm a senior at Hilliard Middle Senior High School. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your service to Nassau County. I was privileged enough to watch our teacher, Miss McCullough, through her campaign process. I know that it is long, emotionally draining, and a physically enduring process. As an FFA member for all of my high school years, I have learned the importance of leadership and community involvement. FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agriculture education. To accomplish our mission, FFA develops competent and assertive agriculture leadership. Watching parliamentary procedure in action is a privilege, and I thank you once again for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And my advice to you young people would be to engage in everything you could engage in. The more you participate, the better you'll become. The more polished you become, the more you speak at the podium, the more you, involve yourself in charitable organizations, anything that's involved in your community, be on the cutting edge. Just, you go out of your way to volunteer. That's how you learn, and that's how you, eventually you will achieve. So thank you both, and we appreciate that. Let's see here. That will move us into, Mr. Irving Gilliard, welcome. I don't have a card for you here, but I know I saw your Christmas card, and I thank you. Yes, sir. Welcome to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Irving Gilliard, 5406 Leonard Street, American Beach. I'd like to again take this opportunity to publicly thank the Board of County Commissioners for your support in the water and sewer project at American Beach. Both your support and your financial support that has relieved a burden on the residents of American Beach. Also thank the county manager and his staff for their input and staying on top of the project, and thank our county attorneys, Ms. May and Ms. Abigail, for keeping us all out of jail.
We say
Staying on
that
the
a lot.
right track. So I really appreciate what you guys have done. Look forward to working with you in 2024. The Lord allow us to see it. And I would like to wish each and every one of you and the entire Nassau County staff happy holidays and be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilliard. We appreciate your leadership over there in American Beach, and we all thank you on behalf of the board for the good work that you do in our community. Merry Christmas to you as well. Anyone else to speak on non-agenda items? Seeing none, that will move us into public comment for agenda items. Except for quasi-judicial items, any member of the public can address any item on the agenda now or wait until the matter is addressed. Time limit is 3 minutes. Have one speaker here for an agenda item, and I don't know if you would like to wait until the item is brought up. But tab P, I have Joel Kelly. If you'd like to speak now, you can come forward, or you'd rather wait till the tab. That's up to you. Okay, we'll just, if you're gonna be here, you can just, it probably won't be too long, won't be too painstaking, we'll just wait to tab P. Anyone else care to speak under agenda items? All right, seeing none, that'll move us to expansion items or deletions to the agenda. Mr. Pope.
Yes, sir, I have an expansion item today that I'd like you to consider. If it's the pleasure of the board, I'd like you to consider providing emergency funds to the Nassau County Council on Aging to assist in fulfilling transportation services through September 31st of 2024. We can talk about it in more detail if it's the board's desire to expand today.
Entertain board.
Mr. Chairman, I move to add county manager's expansion item under county manager's business.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the expansion item.
I have a motion from Commissioner Martin, second from Commissioner Hubman.
We'll call a vote.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hubman.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough.
Yes.
And Chair Farman.
Yes,
5 ayes, 0 nays.
thank you. Ms. May, do you have any expansion item?
I have no expansions, thank you,
All
sir.
right. That moves us to resolutions. Tab A, approve proclamation which recognizes Miss Maggie L. Wingard on her 100th birthday and her contributions to Nassau County. And I see we got quite a few family members here in the audience. If you'd meet me up at the podium, please. Good morning and welcome. I have a proclamation here for Miss Wingard from the Board of County Commissioners recognizing her on her 100th birthday and her contributions to Nassau County. Whereas Nassau County resident Maggie L. Wingard was born in Callahan, Florida on December the 4th, 1923, and has now reached 100 years of age. And whereas Maggie L. Wingard was raised in Yulee, Florida, attending school in still quarters, and whereas Maggie L. Wingard describes herself as someone who has always lived by the golden rule, treating others the way you would like to be treated. And whereas Maggie L. Wingard has contributed to the success of Nassau County by being involved and active in her local community, including being 63-year active member of the Solid Rock Church of God by faith, where she has held fundraisers to meet the needs of the church. And whereas Maggie L. Wingard was a domestic worker most of her life, walking 4 miles to and from work to provide for her family. And whereas Maggie L. Wingard has 7 children, 8 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and 8 great-great-grandchildren who are successful and productive members of our community, and has acted as a neighborhood grandma by helping to raise nieces, nephews, grandchildren, and neighborhood grandchildren. And whereas the United States has the greatest number of centenarians in the world, which now includes Maggie L. Wingard, and whereas Maggie L. Wingard has touched the lives of many Nassau County residents and continues to be a pillar of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, on this 20th day of December 2023, hereby extends sincere congratulations to Maggie L. Wingard on her 100th birthday and recognizes her service and dedication to her community, signed by myself, Clint Farmer, the chairman, John Crawford, the clerk, and Miss Denise May, the county attorney. Hey, thank you so much, and congratulations. Would you like to have the microphone?
You want to talk? You want to talk?
Irving will.
How you all see where I get my shyness from?
Okay.
But she would like to just thank the county for recognizing her, and above all, thank the Lord for allowing her to see 100 years, because there's a lot that don't see that many years, and she says she can still get around and do for herself, so that's a blessing. And she's been telling me, well, I'm almost 100, so now she can say she's going on 101. But thank each and every one of you, and she has a brother that's 95 and a sister that's 88. And just want to thank our family for coming out and supporting her. And again, thank you all.
Mr. Chairman, you want to get a group picture with all the family too?
Yes, hopefully so. Yeah, we'll get the family up for a group photo as well. All right. Would the family like to come up and get a group photo? It's a milestone. Big milestone.
Oh,
This is awesome.
photo thing with that.
You'll figure it out.
Nothing.
Everybody seal up there. That's awesome.
But you've got that. Okay.
I got a whole list for the commissioners seeing on the wall.
I do now that they take it.
That's good for pictures.
Yeah, I like the improvement from my year.
Just need to seal them up.
Getting as wide as the camera will get, right? Thank you so much. Let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve tab A, proclamation which recognizes Ms. Maggie L. Wingard on her 100th birthday and her contributions to Nassau County.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second to approve tab A.
I have a motion from Commissioner Martin, second from Commissioner Gray.
Call the vote.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hupman.
Yes.
Commissioner Gray.
Yes.
And Chair Farmer.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you, and congratulations. What a milestone. Thank you so much. That will move us into tab B. Recognize county employees for years of service, and I'll turn that over to County Manager Taco Pope.
Thank you, sir. Jeff and Doug, you guys, team, meet me up here. So today we are recognizing Jeff Little for his 35 years of service with the county. And I was thinking about kind of when I've known Jeff for a long time, but really probably about 7, 8 years ago, we started, talking about things beyond work, right? At that time, he was fixing up his boat. He was going to be going to retire when he got to 30 years and do backwater charters. And then he goes and gets married, and here he is, 8 years later, still working with us. And so in some ways, it's a blessing. In some ways, I'm not sure that was the best decision. I mean, he'd be running a charter boat. But joking aside, Doug's going to come and talk to you. But I can tell you just from my side and watching Jeff, what comes to mind is just, again, solving problems, right? It doesn't matter if it's something physical or if it's something from an administrative standpoint. He goes, he looks at it, and he comes up with a solution. You guys know that's invaluable. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Doug.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a great milestone, 35 years. What can you say about that? This is a perfect example of Nassau County and the career that Nassau County can offer anybody. Jeff Little started in 1988. He started as a tech, went through apprenticeship school. He got his HVAC, his training. And then I think in 2002, he was promoted to Parks Department for the project manager. So, and then in 2018, Jeff moved into the assistant director position for the facilities. So you can see the genuine stair-stepping that Jeff has done over the past 35 years. So as far as Jeff's charge service, I can't say anything about that, except I got my first black drum this year with Jeff, so that was a good deal. And I was told when Jeff started in 1988, he actually had a full head of hair. Not sure when all that left him, but we'll see how that goes. So 35 years, and Jeff guaranteed me he's got 10 more to go. So that's his goal, 45 years. But you cannot ask for a better employee than Jeff Little. He is dedicated. He is going to go out there. He's going to get the job done. Things do not rattle Jeff. You can get a call from Jeff saying that there's an issue at one of the buildings, a little bit of wind damage. We'll roll up to the site, and there could be a rooftop unit laying in the middle of the parking lot. But for Jeff, it's just all in a day's work. So that's just the kind of guy Jeff is. So, awesome guy.
Good morning. I really didn't prepare anything, and I don't have a whole lot to say about myself, but I would like to talk a little bit about the progression of the county. I think I might be qualified for that a little bit. This era we're in right now, you as the board, in my opinion, is one of the luckiest boards to have been in the last 35 years. The progress this county is making, what I've seen in the last 3 years, is far surpassed anything that's ever happened. And to be a part of it is a privilege for me. When I leave, that's something that can never be taken from me, to watch this, even though kicking and screaming half the way, but I have seen the vision, and this team that's been put together is just an amazing thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it. That's it for me.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Mr. Chairman, if I may. Mr. Little, I just want to remind you that Ms. Wingard was 65 years old when you started at the county.
I'm a lightweight.
All right.
I tell you, I'm just glad that you didn't go fishing at 30 years. I appreciate seeing you down there, because if we could clone him and get 3 more of them, we'd really be somewhere. But we appreciate the hard work and dedication that you provide for the citizens. All right. That will move us into tab C. Recognize Keep Nassau Beautiful on their recent Outstanding Project Award for their Refill Nassau initiative aimed at keeping plastics out of the landfill and the environment. And we have, is that something you're going to take, Mr. Pope, or is that Mr. Ironman?
Executive Director, Ms. Linda Bell is here.
Okay. Welcome, Ms. Bell. It's good to see you guys today.
Thank you. I'm Linda Bell. I'm the Executive Director for Keep Nassau Beautiful. And
Josh Baker, I'm the chair for Keep Nassau Beautiful.
thank you very much for recognizing us this morning for this program. We brought some of our cups. We'll share with those with you today. We're so excited about this program. It's something that Josh, as our board chair, brought to the board to introduce as a program to help reduce plastic waste and to bring awareness. So part of the Keep America Beautiful model is behavior change. We don't force things on people. We demonstrate good behavior and encourage people to do something different. And so this program is aimed at businesses and individuals. If you're having your Christmas party, instead of red Solo cups, use the good Keep Nassau Beautiful aluminum cup. And you'll see them in 25 restaurants restaurants and businesses around, not just Amelia Island, but also across the bridge. We've got some at Shuckers and Disco Witch. So we're very pleased with this program. We have a 31-year history with Nassau County, and part of our commitment to Nassau County is to educate citizens and visitors on the benefits of recycling.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate what you do. I tell you that if you guys don't have one of these aluminum cups, you know, I mean, I've got one of the old ones that has a sea turtle on. I see that one's got a little more design on it, so that's cool, you know. And I tell you, it's a great worthy campaign to keep plastics out of our landfill and out of our oceans and shorelines. And I just can't say enough good things about the good work that you guys do for our community. And we appreciate it. With that, I'm going to pass over to the county manager.
You know, one of the things I just wanted to bring up was that, sometimes you do a lot of really good work, and then an award comes. And I think that the real important part of this recognition is it's a great program, great award, but it's indication of the great work that the Keep Nassau Beautiful has been doing year in and year out since I started working for the county. Linda and her team have been a great partner on a number of different projects, with the recycling events, planting trees, beautifying some of the rights way. I mean, I can go down the list, and so great program, really proud of them for the award, but then also just the scope of work across the last 10 years, and yeah, I can't say enough good things. And I know that Doug Podiak greatly appreciates the assistance when we're doing those recycling events, and so my appreciation to you and the board for just your good work over the period of time.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And I know FFA is quite a bit, but Mr. McKelvey and Miss Loveland, if you don't know Miss Bell, that's a great spot right there to volunteer some of your time, and also to drag some of the other people from FFA and other, functions over to engage. This is that engagement I was talking about. So if you don't know Miss Bell and Mr. Baker, get their card, because we need more young people to engage and involve, and we appreciate that, because it's a testament to who we are as Nassau County, seeing everyone work together, So thank you. That will move us into tab D, which is the Capital Improvement Program update. And with that, I will turn it over to Deputy County Manager Robert Companion. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I don't know exactly how I'm going to follow up after such milestones as a 100-year birthday and 35 years by Jeff Little, but I am excited this morning for this update. It's going to be very quick. We last talked in October, but some important things have occurred. We've accomplished some things, and some things have moved forward. Now that we've gotten out of a period of, the inflationary issues and supply chain issues that we were seeing has really relaxed a lot, and we've been able to move forward. Since we started with your direction of standing up a capital improvement project department, we've started to flesh that group out. Ray Alberry was hired back in March to lead the group. We've hired a project manager, George Murray, which started about a month ago. And we've actually hired another project manager, which starts in January. So that group is now fully staffed come mid-January. We've also seen a new leadership change in the road department with Darren Marsh taking over as interim director. And I'm just really happy with the team that we have right now. Touch on a few projects. First of all, the 108 project that seemed to languish for a long time with bidding the thing out multiple times is finally complete. The rutting is gone out there, drains properly, and the road is just really great. I've driven on it a handful of times since construction, and it's really nice to be able to go visit my mother without having to worry about the ruts. So,
I love coming home safely every day.
yes,
Thank you.
that'd be great. The Amelia Island Parkway Trail Phase 1 is under construction right now. We expect paving to actually start sometime in the next 30 days. They did have the pre-pave meeting to prepare for that. And we also expect to see phases 2 and 3 hit the street within the next 90 days or so. So that will get the trail, with the completion of phase 3, we'll get it all the way up to Bailey Road and tying into the Amelia River to Sea Trail. Pages Dairy Chester Road intersection project, which also seemed to be one that we just, with railroad agreements and all the other things we had to work around, couldn't seem to get it off the ground. It is out for bid right now for construction. and those bids are due back in January. So it is out on the street, and we're hoping to start that sometime in early spring is our goal. And again, that project will signalize that intersection that's long needed it, and 4-lane Chester Road just past Pages Dairy. The William Burgess Boulevard extension also connecting US 17 over to Minor Road at the Yulee Middle and Yulee High Schools is also out for bid. So we expect those to come back in January, and also that early spring start date is what we're looking at for construction. Henry Smith Road, the contract, we have selected a contractor. We're just working through the contract process. You'll likely see that at one of your meetings in January to execute, so that we can get that group started on resurfacing Henry Smith and addressing some drainage structures that are out there in the field. Spring Lake Estates, you signed that contract with United Brothers, believe it was last month. Their construction is starting in January. The storms over the weekend really revealed really accentuated what we already know about the issues there in Spring Lake Estates. So this project will redo the entire drainage system there and provide relief for those citizens. Unfortunately, it was just constructed when it was originally constructed back in the, I believe it was late 80s, early 90s, just was not built correctly. Let's just put it that way. And we're going to correct those issues from that past mistakes. And that was developer driven. But again, starting in January, I did want to bring up, we had a lot of work over the weekend due to the storms, as you're well aware. A lot of washed out roads and things. Our road department, I can't give them enough credit, and our public works as a whole working together for addressing all the issues that came up, getting those roads back open as quickly as possible, as quick as the weather would allow. And they were working around the clock in the rain and everything to get that done for everyone. There were a couple of areas that we didn't get calls at all about, which were kind of surprising. Clements Road, which we believe the fix is working, and also the Dornbush area. We did some work out there, and there were no calls, as I'm aware, and asking the public works guys, we did not get, and those are usually the usual suspects when those storms roll through. Public works projects, mostly focusing on facilities. We'll talk about Fire Station 70 and 90. You signed those contracts a while back. Part of those contracts included site design. So they've gone through the DRC process, and we believe that they'll actually be on the January 2nd DRC approval, and they'll be able to, you'll be able to already start stockpiling material and starting some of the early grading and grubbing that they can do before they get DRC approval, but it should really kick into high gear come after January 2nd's approval. Let's see. The old Nassau County Detention Center and Sheriff's Facility on 200 there, just east of William Burgess Boulevard. Demolition is underway. They removed a lot of these buildings that are actually on this image right here are already gone. And the main facility, the old jail and the old admin facility, the contractor has been selected for that. So we're working through the process to get that contract in front of you all, so that they can start the demolition of those main facilities as well. There are some environmental cleanup things, and it just has to do with the lead from the old firing range from the sheriff's officers there when they would practice, now that they have the new facility off of 108. And really a 3 to 4 step project, but we are midway through step 2, so it shouldn't be long before we see a return to greenfield, and we can use it for another use that you all deem appropriate. Parks and Recreation projects, just 2 to talk about. The West Side Regional Park, we expect this to hit the street mid-January, and the bids to come back in mid-February. So that probably late spring, we expect construction to begin. And again, this project is really exciting. There's a lot of amenities in this park that are going to serve all of the West Side residents. Nearly $20 million worth of work out there. If you have any questions about what's going to be offered out there, it's just really impressive with the amphitheater, astronomical area where you can go out and put your telescopes and everything. It's something for everyone out there. Goffinsville boat ramp improvements. As you know, we did a study some years back, and that did not include design with that study. That design is expected to come before you all at your first January meeting to get started with one of our continuing contract folks, Pond. And we are also out for bid right now are the repairs to the existing ramp where there was some settlement issues. So that's already out to bid, and we expect to have that back to you very soon. But we are working through those, and they're moving along. The pavement management plan and chip seal for 2022 and 2023 are complete. Our road department really took care of those projects, and actually the stuff in red were roads that were added above and beyond what we initially thought that we could accomplish with the budget. So kudos to them for using the money, the budget they were given to get more than we promised done. So they do expect to start earlier this year than usual with work on the chip seal program and the pavement management plan program starting as early as January. So we're really getting ahead of things. So they won't be finishing the projects, coming in, hot, coming in September at the end of the fiscal year. We expect to get those done earlier than usual. And with that, our next update will be as part of the winter strategic planning session in 2024. And I'm open to any questions you might have about any projects. Maybe I didn't cover something, or you have any questions.
Any questions or comments from the board for Mr. Companion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll just make a comment. Thank you, Mr. Companion, you and your staff, Road and Bridge, chip seal program, pavement management plan. County's moving forward in a very, very aggressive manner now. It's glad to see some of these projects come to fruition. I'd like to thank you and all the county staff for your hard work and the new team, the capital improvement project, Mr. Albury, I believe it is, the new team to help moving us forward. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Gray, and I'd also like to just build upon that a little bit and say, that's exciting whenever you flip back one slide and you see, was it 52 roadways, I think it said up there? That's tremendous, you know what I mean? It's really groundbreaking, 52 roads and intersections, that are, they're gonna be worked on under that 22-23 pavement management program. And, it's just, again, that's an indicator of this board and the foresight that we had to begin to swing ourselves from being reactive to proactive. And, we're playing catch up. Everybody knows that. But at the end of the day, 10 years from now, they're going to look back on this board and go, man, I sure am glad those guys, changed that mindset. And so I'd just like to thank this staff, this board for the foresight. And then, of course, you and your staff for helping us to bring this thing to the finish line and then see it come to fruition. Because, it's exciting to ride by and see, trucks and, contractors doing work on roads that, in my mind, should have been done 15 years ago. So thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you for giving us the tools.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would just like to add, thank you, Mr. Companion, for your presentation, all the hard work you and your staff do. But I'd just like to add that there was another shift that happened about 3 years ago when myself, Commissioner Gray, and Commissioner Farmer took office. And that was, this is all getting accomplished over the past 3 years without raising taxes. And each year, since we've been elected, the millage rate has gone down on county taxpayers. All right? It may go up in other taxing entities, but the only thing we can control is the millage rate for the county portion of your tax bill. And we, along with the previous board, decided that this was going to be a policy that we were going to do. It doesn't get talked about enough, it doesn't get acknowledged enough, that we decided that we were going to reverse the trend of raising taxes every year on our county taxpayers, especially the homesteaded taxpayers, by leaving either a flat millage rate or increasing the millage rate. And we now have a policy that the county manager and his staff is going to bring to us a millage rate, a budget based on a millage rate that is adjusted for the consumer price index, which means pretty much a zero-sum budget for the taxpayers, the homesteaded taxpayers in Nassau County. And we've done that for 3 years in a row. And I also want to acknowledge Commissioner Huffman and Commissioner McCullough. When they came on board last year, they got on board with this. There was never a doubt that we were going to continue to do this for the future. So I just want to make sure that gets acknowledged. And none of that would have happened had it not been for the county manager and his staff saying, okay, let's take a look at this from the new commissioner's point of view at that time, and they made it happen. So I want to acknowledge Mr. Pope and his staff for that also.
Yes, sir.
And I agree with everything he said. I tell you, man, it's awesome to be able to provide, that foresight for the homesteaded properties and the homeowners here in Nassau County. And again, the roadway management projects and the fact that, we didn't raise taxes. I mean, that should be on the front page, in my opinion, every week. The Nassau County's Board of Commissioners, current Board of Commissioners, we roll this thing back. We roll it back. We don't roll it forward. You hearing me over there, Sean? We're rolling it back, not rolling forward. And again, this is the good work of this board and the good work of our staff following our direction. Commissioner Gray.
Can I have a nickel back?
Yes, sir.
Did I open up Pandora's
And
box?
You did. But you know what? We don't say sometimes and tout some of our accomplishments like we should for the citizens of Nassau County. For years, Parks and Recreation we didn't even have a Park and Recreation director. We didn't even have one here. So when we're growing, our county's expanding with population coming. People buy homes and they want a place for the children to play. Now we've got these Parks and Recreation full gear. And I thank County Manager, Mr. Pope, and Assistant County Manager, Mr. Iron, for all their hard work on playing catch-up. For over a decade, nothing being done. So, these parks are coming out, and this is going to be in the future. We have beautiful parks coming out on the riverfront, on the west side, east side. I mean, this is great. And we thank staff, and thank you very much, you two, County Manager and Assistant County Manager, along with Deputy County Manager, on making all these accomplishments occur while we did not still raise taxes. That's good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Anything else, any other commissioner like to add to that?
I just want my 2 cents back.
Go ahead.
Not a nickel.
Okay.
I'll give you two.
I just, to
I
piggyback
got a lot of
again on
money
what
up here.
Commissioner Gray said, it shouldn't be any secret that this all happened starting 3 years ago, not just when the three of us came on board, but particularly when Mr. Pope got elevated to county manager. Okay, so he has been, he's been I'm at a loss for words now, but he's been invaluable in this process along with his staff.
Well, they live here just like we do, You don't want his taxes to go up either, So, thank you again, Mr. Companion.
Thank you all for giving us the tools and the direction. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, with that will move us into consent items. Any board member wishes to move a consent item to new business, please do so now. Would any member of the public wish to speak on a consent item? All right, seeing none,
We're not going to pull tab K?
hey, you tell us.
Yes, sir, Mr. Farmer. I know that was, I apologize. Tab K and tab L?
All right.
I was giving Mr. Ironman a Christmas present today, but
Oh, okay.
that's okay.
Okay, so you're making a motion, I guess?
Oh, yes, sir. So I'm going to make the motion to approve the consent agenda without tabs K and L. I would like them to go to new business.
I'll second it. I'm sorry. Commissioner Huffman, go ahead, sir. Yes, sir. No, you ahead of me.
I apologize, Mr. Martin.
No, I want to see what happened.
I'm like you, Mr. Martin. I get a lot of people who want to talk about these budget items, and they're very detailed about it. And so I think it's kind of back to that public service. If we don't take this opportunity and talk about it in the public eye, it goes quickly. And I just think it's important for the taxpayers to be aware of these.
Well, I purposely did not move anything because I want to see one of my colleagues decide to do it instead of me always doing it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Martin.
All right, I got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda without K and L.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second from Commissioner Hupman.
Call the vote.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Hupman,
Yes.
and Chair Farmer.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
All right, and we'll move us into new business. Tab K, approve and authorize chairman to sign contract number CM 3559 with Jack's Utilities Management, Inc. for roadside ditch cleaning and rehabilitation with a not-to-exceed amount of $1.2 million. And I'll turn that over to Mr. Pope.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. This is actually really exciting. So this actually falls in line with the general discussion about progressing, moving forward, improving our level of service, but at the same time, not expanding our headcount, right? Not adding additional employees. This contract allows us to shift some of the roadside ditch cleaning that either only happens sporadically or happens as a result of an issue to now being proactive in nature, and we're doing it by outsourcing the service, which then frees up our staff to move into doing more important matters, if you will. And so this is a great step forward as a follow-up from your winter strategic planning session earlier this year, where you gave us direction to move forward with this concept. And so the public works staff, along with the attorney's office and procurement, worked hard to put a contract together that gets these guys on the ground. And so we will see a vast improvement. There'll be roadside ditches along roads like County Road 121, 119, 108, the long stretches where these swells will be cleaned out. And then our staff will be able to go back in behind, replace culverts, clean the outfalls. And so that should allow the whole drainage system to work better, which then, as you all know, helps our roads stay healthier and better intact. And this past weekend, with some of the rains in that 119, 121 area, this will help those moving into the future which then results in less man-hours fixing things like blown out culverts.
Any questions for Mr. Pope on tab K?
I know that Mr. Pope and I have probably talked about this one, I feel like every single week, but it's back to that 119, 121. When it hits your district home, just this weekend on the phone conversations with some of my constituents, when they called about water issues and everything, I said, look, help is literally on the way. How you say that, we've got these big advancements, because when you drive past it every single day and it really affects your backyard, it makes a huge difference when we take these projects and we move forward and we're able to get the citizens the services that they deserve. So I'm excited about cleaning out some ditches.
Anybody else on the board? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve tab K.
I make a motion to approve tab K, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right, I have a motion, do I see a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve tab K.
I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second from Commissioner Hupman.
Call the vote.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hupman,
Yes.
and Chair Farmer.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
All right, that moves us to tab L, approve and authorize the chairman to sign contract number CM 3505 with Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. for continuing contract for professional architectural and engineering services not to exceed $2 million for a 3-year period. And Mr. Iron.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as we follow Mr. Companion's presentation, we see that some of the projects that have been slow in delivery have been impacted by bids, going out multiple times, 2 or 3 times for bids. So one of the proactive things that we've been implementing is having continuing service contracts in place so that we don't lose that valuable time and we can move forward with those projects. What you have before you today is one of the contracts for the architectural and engineering services. There are 5 firms that we will have in place. This contract is for Kimley Horn and Associates. And similar with the other ones, we have a not-to-exceed amount, but all work authorized under this contract will come before you as part of a work authorization process. So you will see those when the actual dollars are spent in line with the budget as approved. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Ironman in regards to tab L?
Thank you, Mr. Ironman. I make a motion to approve tab L.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve tab L.
I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second from Commissioner Hupman.
Call the vote.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Hupman.
Yes.
And Chair Farmer.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, quickly, Mr. Ironman, it's noted that you came on board just at the same time that all these great changes started happening as well. Since you just delivered that last tab, I'm going to throw you that kudo as well.
Well, I will pass along the kudos to the county manager, as when he came in, he developed a team around him, and I'm just one piece of many. So.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
And help us on the way for your ditch, Marshall.
All right, well, that'll move us into new business. Any member of the public may address any item under new business at this time. Time limit's 3 minutes. Anyone who wishes to address any item under new business. Seeing none, I'll move us to tab P. Consider the request for code enforcement lien reduction in case number 09627, 5537 Gregg Street, Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners, Attorney's Office, County Manager's Office. This case excuse me. excuse me, I'm trying to find out information for the case present. This one? Okay, that's great. Thank you. Sorry about that. This case is Nassau County versus Willie Hooker Sr., Willie Hooker III, on behalf of Willie Hooker, surviving spouse Willie Hooker Jr., case number 096275537 Gregg Street, Fernandina Beach. This case was heard by the Code Enforcement Board on February 10, 2009. The property was found in violation of Ordinance 18 and a quarter, Section 5, formerly 2003-17, Section 6.01, general nuisance affecting public health, and Ordinance 18 and a quarter, Section 7, formerly 2003-17, Section 6.03, trash litter and debris. The property owner was fined $50 a day to commence on March 10, 2009. In addition, admin fees of $330.17 was assessed. The property was brought into compliance on July 15, 2009. The fine accrued for a total of 127 days at $50 per day, which equaled $6,350, plus admin fees of $330.17 for a total of $6,680.15. Willie Hooker Jr., surviving spouse, Gladys Hooker, was given power of attorney by Willie Hooker III to act on her behalf. The power of attorney has been entered into evidence. Willie Hooker III has requested the lien to be reduced to 0. This is how the property looked back in 08 and 09. It was the trash litter and the board from the clearance of the building, which you will see here, the siding and everything was just removed, thrown out on the side, and it was sided. To this day, it still looks like this. And what the current fine of $6,350, 127 days at $50 per day, plus admin fee of $6,680.17. On November 14, 2003, the Code Enforcement Board heard the respondent request for lien reduction and recommend the lien be reduced from $6,618.17, correction, $6,350 to $4,762.50 at a 25% reduction, and which includes admin fee of $330.17 for a total of $5,092.67. There's an attorney to represent Mr. Hooker here at this time, and I don't know if he would like to speak on their behalf.
Yes, welcome up, Mr. Kelly.
Good morning. My name is Joel Kelly. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Hooker. Mr. Hooker is a resident of North Carolina and has been up there for quite some time. And so as you can see, is what happened here is it originally belonged to Mr. Hooker Sr., and then it went to Mr. Hooker Jr. And Miss Gladys, which is his mom, is 95 years old, does not travel, no longer lives anywhere around here. And so when Mr. Hooker III became aware of all these issues, he sought to enact, or I guess begin probate, get everything situated so all the title, record, and everything is clear, make sure all the heirs are notified to make any claims that are needed to be made. But one of the first things that he intended to do was he's got a purchase and sell agreement for the property for somebody that can basically come right in, bulldoze it out, clean it all up, and likely either build on it or keep the area clean one way or the other. But that was pretty much the ultimate goal, was to kind of help his parents and grandparents ultimately get clean the area up. And so that was his. As he has really no way of really being down here at the time. Everything that he does is up in North Carolina, so he's doing what he can, and he felt like that he acted on it pretty promptly once he became aware of it. And so he was simply asking for, some consideration to hopefully reduce this lien, because he can't go through with the sale of the property with the lien on there. And I know $6,500 or $6,600 may not be a lot to some people, but to some people it is. And I think that's kind of been his purpose of kind of bringing this in front of the board to see if we could get some sort of a reduction on it.
Gotcha. Thank you. Mr. Kelly, any questions for Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, through the chair. Mr. Kelly, I watched the Code Enforcement Board video meeting of this. So the Code Enforcement Board did give you a 25% reduction. So are you asking, I saw up there, you're asking for 0. Are you not satisfied with the 25% reduction?
I mean, obviously,
It wouldn't come, if you were satisfied with it, it wouldn't come to us. It would be done, right? Or would it come to us so we'd have to approve that 25% reduction?
You have to either approve the 25% reduction as recommended
Okay.
by the Code Enforcement Board, or any reduction that this board sees fit.
So what
individually.
are you asking for?
It was my understanding that we were asking for at least the board to approve of what the Code Enforcement Board suggested or recommended, and any other further consideration if you have any.
Commissioner Gray.
Yeah. Based on our Code Enforcement Board's recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners, I'll make a motion that we reduce it 25% as the board recommended. And that would be my motion, because there was a fine and it existed for 127 days. Yes, it did get cleaned up, and our goal at the county is to make it come in compliance, and which it did. So I think the 25% reduction from our board is what I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that, and I also have a comment.
Yes, sir. Go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, they came into compliance after 121 days, and when Mr. Kelly said, well, Mr. Hooker III, did everything he could do. But I'm not disputing that, but what I'm saying is that for 1, 2, almost 3 generations of a family, this fine has existed since 2009. So the only thing that had to be done was pay the fine. That's what needed to be done, was pay the fine. So now they want, now that a sale is pending based on whether, getting this lien removed, that's why it's an issue now. So, had the fine been paid back in 2009 when it should have been paid, we wouldn't be here today. So, but I will go ahead and second Commissioner Gray's motion.
Any other commissioner have anything to add to that? We have a motion and a second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Gray, a second from Commissioner Martin.
Call a vote.
Commissioner Hubman?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
And Chair Farmer?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
All right, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. All right, that will move us into county manager's business. Mr. Pope.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you expanding the agenda to have a discussion today about transportation in Nassau County. So we can go into as much detail or as little detail as you would like to on this matter. I know, my team, I'll give Marshall credit for doing the heavy lifting. I'm putting together the packet for you today. But in short, I think we need to consider helping our friends out at the Council on Aging, pulling from your emergency reserve that you have for these types of situations where there's a shortfall and a gap that needs to be covered, by an allocation of $150,000 towards Council on Aging. It allows for the current transportation services that are being provided to be extended to September 31st of 2024. Between now and that date, there will be a transition on your community transportation coordinator. It's a role that is played in the region to provide transportation services for the transportation disadvantaged. The state of Florida has a transportation disadvantage program. It's administered through the Northeast Florida Regional Council. The Northeast Florida Regional Council will be going out to bid, put an RFP on the street at the beginning of 2024. And then we'll have a new CTC provider on board, hopefully by the middle of 2024. And so what this $150,000 will allow us to do is to have a nice, smooth transition through the next fiscal year and then move into a new provider. Talking with the staff over at the Regional Council, we think that this is the best move for all parties involved in order to maintain continuity of services. With that, happy to answer questions. Marshall can get into a lot further detail on how the different programs work, but our recommendation is to consider providing the additional funding.
Commissioner Gray.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I am your chairman that represents the Transportation Disadvantaged Local Coordinating Board. And so I sit on that board as chairperson, working with the CTC and the Council on Aging, and they provide transportation for the disadvantaged here in Nassau County. And I fully support this as a transitional measure. I know it's $150,000, and I fully support this. I think it's best interest of our citizens in Nassau County. I appreciate your support on this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner McCollum.
I think there's one thing, and thank you, Mr. Gray, for that clarity, but, one thing that was talked about in those one-on-one meetings is that I just want the public fully aware that, the county government is not taking on a transportation service for residents. That was one question, I had thoroughly talked to Marshall and Mr. Pope about, is that I just wanted, the public fully aware that, no, the Nassau County Board of County Commissioners is not doing transportation services, Mr. Ironman, correct? Or Mr. Pope?
Correct. So, just echoing again, the state has their Commission for Transportation Disadvantaged. The state basically works with the entities through our local planning agency, the Northeast Florida Regional Council. The future CTC provider will actually be with a contract through the state. And so there is not an agreement with the county. We actually are not party to the negotiations, the contracts, any of those items. The service is for the benefit of our residents, but we are on the outside on this one.
Thank you, Marshall.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Gray. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, as a transportation disadvantage program, what they do is they provide people to medical appointments, dialysis, and things like that, that people that need help, handicap, pair services and things like that. So until we get our Northeast Florida Regional, our new CTC provider, I just didn't want those residents to be stranded. So that's what I'll make sure I communicate that, All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Through the chair to Commissioner Gray, did you make this in the form of a motion?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can, at the request of the board. Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I make a motion to provide emergency support to the Nassau County Council on Aging to aid in fulfilling its obligation through September 30th, 2024 as the Community Transportation Coordinator, and allocate $150,000 from the county's general fund reserve for contingency to support the counties and municipalities, residents which rely on the CTC for their services. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Chairman? Sorry. No, you're good. I'd just like, we're under discussion now, right? Get a motion?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, I would just like to say, it kind of piggyback on what Commissioner McCullough said. This isn't our responsibility. The county is not responsible for this. It's a state program, and the Northeast Florida Regional Council, which I serve on as a collateral duty as a commissioner here, they're the agency that, the point of contact for this, and to interview and make a recommendation and pick the next CTC provider. So I just want to be on the record, let the taxpayers know that this is not our responsibility. However, if we don't take this action, and Ms. Ankrum may want to come to the podium to answer this question unless the county manager knows, so through the chair to the county manager, the Council on Aging won't be able to provide this service through September, and probably not through, is it March or April?
So, and I will say that we've had discussions with the executive director for the Northeast Florida Regional Council, along with her staff, and could we move at extraordinary pace and press the issue and have a new CTC provider on board quick, fast, in a hurry? We probably could. But looking at it over the course of time, recognizing that this is a complicated issue, it's a state program, at the staff level, we all agree that the most effective approach would be to not be in a rush. Let's take our time. Let's make sure that the RFP is fleshed out properly. Let's make sure that the various boards that are responsible on oversight are all satisfied with the process that's going to be moving forward. And so the $150,000 allocation to maintain the services that are being provided is an opportunity for the collective region to have time to really think about the path forward, because there are lots of changes in the transportation field in general. I mean, new technologies coming on board, demands for services, the availability of telehealth now that really wasn't as robust as it was pre-pandemic. So there are a lot of changes that have occurred over even just the last 3 to 5 year period that need to be taken into consideration. And so, again, this is a matter of quote unquote buying time, if you will, to make sure that we make a good first step moving into the future.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Yes, sir, I just want to share with the board as well. There is an ongoing transit study going on right now for Northeast Florida, and those results are not here yet, so this just buys a little time. We're not into public transportation, we'll make sure I say that as well, but this is services that people, that medical and things like that, we could use this extra time. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to speak again.
No problem. Commissioner Martin?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to give Ms. Ankrum an opportunity to speak before I comment further.
Sure. Welcome, Ms. Ankrum. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. I want to thank you for this consideration because this will buy us time and allow us to perform the same level of services through September 30th of 2024. We provide thousands of rides, tens of thousands of rides each year. We don't want that to be interrupted. We want to really provide the best service possible. Transportation is not a part of our core mission. The county has grown so much. There's so many costs now associated with transportation. It's time for someone to come along who can do a much bigger, better job for a larger county. We're very happy that you trusted us to do this. We've done it for over 40 years, so it's time to pass the torch.
And Mr. Chairman, we didn't discuss this, but I'm glad she said what, Ms. Ankrum said what she just said, because I've got written down here, core competencies. This isn't the Council on Aging's core competency. They've been doing it for 42 years. I used to serve on the Transportation Disadvantaged Local Coordinating Board like Commissioner Gray does now, only I did it when I was the Veteran Service Officer for the county. So I am well aware of the good work that the Council on Aging has done over the course of the many years. And it's unfortunate that, it's come to this point, but, one door closes, another one opens. And hopefully, we're going to be able to find a company that this is their core competency to do this kind of work. And either as good or better than the Council on Aging did. So I want to publicly thank Ms. Ankrum and the Council on Aging and their board for providing the service for so many years. And I do support giving them the $150,000 so that we can have a smoother transition without a reduction in services to our most vulnerable people out there. Thank you.
And if I may, we will work very closely with the new CTC. We have a staff already in place. We have at least 20 drivers, directors. So we have local people who can certainly do a great job.
And one more thing, I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing this, I don't mean to. All the vehicles and equipment, along with the staff expertise, that doesn't belong to the Council on Aging. That belongs to the state. Am I correct?
Correct.
So that, it's not like a company's got to come in here and invest in all that infrastructure. It's all going to be available to them. So that should make for a smoother, more cost-effective transition.
As well as the transportation building, which belongs to the county. So infrastructure is in place.
That's all I have, Mr.
Well, I'll add to it that, and I've said it numerous times, this is not a transition from what we currently have to 80 bus stops across the county in public transit. And there's a lot of people that believe that, and I have to fight that battle every day, because I can tell you, as being a former police officer in the city of Jacksonville, I'm not in favor of bus stops on every corner that just moves people from north to south and east to west for $3 a ride, or whatever the case may be. That's not what this service provides. And I am ultimately in favor of moving this out till September, so like he said, we can flush out what we need to flush out and play the role that we play as a board in the decision-making process, which is very limited. But I want to continue to see this service move forward, because I'm all in favor of taking grandma back and forth to her doctor's appointments. I'm all in favor of making sure that, these people that are disadvantaged get to where they need to go, whether it be the grocery store or whatever, to get their medications filled or whatever have you. And, you say that, it's outside of the purview really of, in the scope of what the Council on Aging does. However, in my mind, it's a huge benefit to those that we serve. And so I appreciate, the service that you provide for the citizens, as you and I talked about during Thanksgiving. My mother used to drive one of those buses, so I know a little bit more about it from the inside. And, got a big heart for making sure that people that are handicapped and people that are disadvantaged or maybe elderly get back and forth to where they need to be. And I look forward to, moving this forward and finding someone that we can lateral this to, if you will, that will provide us at minimum the same level of service, if not better. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you all.
All right. I got a motion in a second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Gray. Second from Commissioner Hupman.
We can call the vote.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Commissioner Hupman?
Yes.
And Chair Farmer?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
All right. County Attorney's business this week.
No business.
All right, I'll move us to County Commission items. Commissioner McCullough.
Yes, sir, Mr. Farmer. I want to wish everyone a safe and Merry Christmas, and I want to thank the residents of Nassau County. It's to allude to what we were talking about earlier on the dais is that, I've been in this position for a little bit over a year now, and coming from watching my students come to the podium, I think that the biggest gap missing in government, whether it's local, state, federal, is public engagement. And so I always encourage the residents to get involved, but I have a lot of calls, or emails and texts more now than ever, and I'm so grateful for that. But I think the only way to accomplish a mission is to be involved in that mission. And so to see, 2 of my students, they are seniors in high school, and I hear a lot of negative talk, as most of the public does, about what public high school looks like right now in America. And it's very defeating knowing that we're going there every day and people are doing amazing and great things. We have students who are coming, who use their time, they're engaged, that actually want to play roles in leadership. And so with FFA, what the students were here today for is one of our career development events is parliamentary procedure. So students are going right here in Nassau County, and this is all 67 counties across the state, and they are learning parliamentary procedure, how government works, how to play roles effectively, efficiently, like Nolan said, to protect the rights of the minority, but to respect the rule of the majority. And I think if every citizen understands that on a true level, we're able to efficiently accomplish our mission. And so I just want to thank the board for allowing them to come to the podium. I know that they were nervous, and y'all were so welcoming for them, and you'll probably see them back over the 3 years as they prepare. And I just wanted to thank you, gentlemen, for supporting them and encouraging them. Mr. Jeff Little, 35 years of service. It speaks volumes for itself. I just cannot even fathom 35 years of working for and believing. I'm so grateful that people believe in something so much that they dedicate their life to making it better. So thank you, Mr. Little. Thank you for the CIP update. It's amazing to see all of the red roads that were added. And I know whether it's Robert, Mr. Pope, Mr. Ironman, Saturday, Sunday, calls, emails, texts, as soon as the storm comes in, I don't think that the public realizes that behind the scenes, these gentlemen, women, the staff of Nassau County work 24/7 for your services. And I'm just grateful for them and their commitment to making Nassau County a better place. And once again, I wish everyone a safe and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner McCullough. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Little as well for his 35 years of service to the citizens of Nassau County. He does a great job. He's a great human being, and he's going to be hard to replace when he does retire. But it was a huge accomplishment, 35 years, and we appreciate him very much. Looking forward to volunteering this weekend for our local charity, Enjoy the Children, and a lot going on. We all do as commissioners this time of year. We're busy, busy, busy. We can't make everything, but we try our best to go where we can. Also, I'd like to thank this board for a successful 2023 year. The staff, each and every one of y'all. You know, y'all have done an excellent job. You know, we're moving Nassau County forward, and I'm looking forward to a new prosperous 2024 year. And I see Miss May over there, and I want to thank her for this year. Our county attorney, you know, she works long hours. I mean, a lot of times when she calls me, she's in here working. We appreciate all of our staff. We always talk about the county manager. We also want to talk about our county attorney. We appreciate all of our staff. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and God's blessings for you, for each and every one of you, your families. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Commissioner Hutton.
Thank you, sir. Keep it short. I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays this year. Thanks to everyone for a great year. Mr. Farmer, thank you for your leadership as chairman this year. As a freshman, it was a pleasure to work under your leadership and direction of the board, and I look forward to a great 24. So, thanks very much to everybody. We'll see you next year.
Thank you. Commissioner Hutman. Commissioner Martin.
Well, kudos to Jeff Little, 35 years of service. I think Commissioner McCullough, were you a toddler at that time?
I was born in '87, so he started in, I was.
Oh,
Okay,
you were a twinkle.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
I didn't even bring up age, Mr. Martin.
I know,
kept it.
I know,
Yeah.
since you didn't, I would
Okay,
have
yes, sir.
But yeah, that's a great accomplishment. I hope you stick around for, as long as you want to stick around. Kudos to Parks and Recreation Director Jay Robertson. He gets that a lot, you know. I don't think he gets tired of hearing it, right? But for Breakfast with Santa out on the west side, it was a great event. Several of us went out there, and so I really had a good time. So you put on another outstanding event for the community, Jay. I know I said this at the last meeting, but since this is our last meeting of the year, thank you again, Chairman Farmer. I think you had an outstanding year. You did a great job. Looking forward to 2024, looking forward to being chairman next year. Commissioner Huffman will be vice chair, and just keep moving the ball forward. It's going to be a busy year, a lot of things going on. I'm looking forward to it, so I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and stay safe, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. To start with, I'd like to say that I received a phone call from Pastor Walter Cooper from He Changed My Mind Ministries in Callahan, asking for the board's support the use of Page Street for the MLK Parade that's upcoming on Monday, January 15th, 2024. And I'd just like to ask to see from my colleagues if we couldn't get that in a form of a motion in a second to allow them a letter of support so they can close off and use Page Street for the duration of the parade.
I'd make that motion.
And I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to fill out a letter of support for the board for the use of Page Street
January 15th.
on January 15th for the MLK Parade. And Madam Clerk, if you don't mind, can you call a vote?
I have a motion from Commissioner Hutman, a second from Commissioner Gray.
Call vote.
Okay, Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutman,
Yes.
and Chair Farmer.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you, and I'll pass that over to Ms. May so she can get that filled out for Mr. Cooper. Sent the information over to County Manager Pope, so he has all of his information. Thank you, board members, for that. Second is Pancakes with Santa this past Saturday. Parks and Rec Department did a fantastic job. You guys pretty much covered that. It's a phenomenal job. We appreciate all the volunteers and all the members of the public for coming out and joining us, especially, you know, seeing our fire rescue department pull up there, you know, I mean, we don't want to leave those guys out. Lieutenant Dan brought his guys up there, and those guys did an outstanding job letting the kids go out there and check out our fire apparatus. That's really cool stuff. Storm response was flawless. We were on the phone prior, during, and after. And I'd just like to thank the county manager, because I know he fielded a bunch of calls during that thing. And just when we thought it was over, then we got hit with another couple calls. But at the end of the day, it was really good to see that we had a proactive response and not a reactive response. We had a continued response. Director Marsh and his R&B staff over there were out prior, during, and afterwards. And some of the area over by me got upwards of 8 inches of rainfall. I know it takes 17 feet to crest at Stokes Bridge, and we were right at 17.1 feet. So that's big. I mean, you know, and I watch all that stuff on the regular. And my rain gauge holds 5 inches. At 2 a.m., I had 2 inches of rain, and then woke up at 8 a.m., and it was running over. So I estimated we had at least 7+ inches at my house. rode the district, rode around District 4 and 5 over there. Water was moving out rapidly, and that's an indicator that, being proactive and doing this ditch cleaning and stuff is actually speeding up, the drying out process, and we appreciate that. Also like to, say again, happy birthday to Miss Wingard and her family. I mean, what a huge milestone to make it to 100 and to see her family rallying around her. That's Nassau County, man. I mean, it's just it's a warm, loving feeling. That's who we are here. And I tell you, man, I really appreciated her and her family coming out today to receive that resolution. Congratulations. Thank you for 35 years of service, Jeff Little. What an accomplishment. 35 years is a long time to do anything. And we appreciate him and the services he provides. I'd like to thank the members of the HOA there in Timber Creek. They called me up and asked me to judge their Christmas lights. So I rode around last week with the HOA president's husband, and we rode through the area, and there were two different categories. One was for traditional and one was for creativity. And I was able to judge those Christmas lights in Timber Creek for them. Congratulations to the winners, and thanks for, thinking about us, you know what I mean, to ask the board or someone to represent the board to come out and be a part of that. It was, there's some really nice homes in there. Last but not least, as my last meeting as the board chairman, it was a great honor to serve as the chairman here in 2023. I'd like to thank the board, my colleagues, for the confidence and my ability to lead. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and be glad to pass the torch. And that way you get to sit here for 30 or 40 minutes after every meeting and sign the papers, where when my stomach's growling, I'll send you a picture of what lunch looks like.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
And if there's nothing further to come before the board, before I proceed to close, I don't see anything. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent.